Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight we have a special guest, Martin from SMARTRobie. If you have been following our calls, basically, so I think Martin's calls, I think we have a daily US stock calls, basically, so-called from this Pentagon, where you could trade at a lowest brokerage at Rakuten Trade. These are the stock ideas that we have. So far, I think since we started, I think the accuracy and the performance has been quite all right. I think this is all algo driven, basically so-called. Without much further ado, let me introduce to you Martin Wong. He will run through with some of the characteristics of this SMARTRobie and the stock calls, and then we'll probably have a Q&A and talk about briefly about the US market. Over to you, Martin.
All right, thank you, Vincent. All right, let's get started. We don't want to take too long, as we only have a very it's the thing heard about us. Our company is TradeVSA. We are an invest tech company, right? Actually, we are based off in PJ, and one of the methodology that we'd like to share with you is in terms of technical tradings, which is driven our algo is the volume spread analysis. In short, it's what we do, try to make every trader and investor to trade smarter every time, all right? And we've been awarded the Malaysian digital status back in 2023. And only last year, all right, September 2024, our company TradeVSA are currently still the first and only company to be granted a digital investment advisor license. So hence that algo that you will see, which drives a lot of the trade idea that you will have today. Now, keep in mind, the algorithm is it's patent approved, okay, in Malaysia, and the patent should last up to about 20 years. And we are still seeking for the Singapore approval next year. Should be approved next year. Now, our unique proposition for our Pentagon Guider, which drives the US buy call for Rakuten that you see, is actually a visual tell-all chart. Now, of course, some of you may have seen this chart, some of you don't, but later on we'll get down to the details. So what it simply says that our proprietary charts will basically have a visual. When you see green Pentagon, it's basically a buy signal. And then a red Pentagon is thing to sell. Okay, thing to sell, and be cautious as the market is turning downwards. And in between, you will see the blue trend zone. So the blue trend zone usually indicates a bullish market, then the orange trend zone indicates a bearish market. So from a technical standpoint, when you see blue, market's going up. When you see orange, after the red Pentagon, it's going downwards. Okay, so the US buy call that we presented that you see what Vincent talked about, basically we target a lot of the new beginner who is not very familiar with the US market, or new millennium who doesn't have much of a technical knowledge, nor like to analyze DA chart or fundamental charts, because it takes a lot of experience to really go into it. But so what we want to provide is a systematic way with good success rate, all back tested, algo driven, based on volume spread analysis. Now, unlike the traditional buy call, a lot of them are TA and FA. Both SMARTRobie, we uses both TA and FA. So we have our FA, which is part of the offering that we have in our SMARTRobie apps, right? But what's more important is our Pentagon Guider algo is based on volume spread analysis, a methodology, a very a century-old methodology, which focuses on SOS. SOS stands for sign of strength, which means we're talking about strength, price bar, right? And primarily to detect smart money activity, where we see a lot of, before a big stock move up, usually there's a lot of campaign where accumulations are happening and before they drive up. So what we attempt to do here is the algo attempt to look at it. So the SMARTRobie will generate this trade idea based on volume confirmation. So when you have to have volume, right? Because volume drives a lot of the uptrend and also sustain the uptrend for our user to hit their target profit or get some sort of profit return. And we find that this is a professional trading method. It has an entry price, EP, target price, and also stop loss. We always ask the user to observe all this when I'll show you a couple of case study going from here onwards. All right. So the SMARTRobie US buy call together with Rakuten. We started this only on 30th of June until current, so we continue that. So it's published through the in-app iSpeed, and you usually get it in the late afternoon here. Right now, the buy call focuses a lot on the US S&P 500, large cap stock, and US ETF. The buy call for the SMARTRobie US is featured on a rating, a proprietary to our SMARTRobie. So we feature the highest rating, 4 and 5 rating, all right? And the 4 and 5 rating, 5 is the highest up. And the 4 and 5 is a combination of FA, fundamental analysis, and TA. So TA, we look at all the volume spread. And the FA is based on the financial metrics, which is a combination of price earning, return on equity, dividend yield, and intrinsic value. Some of the sample call we have done previously were Apple, Pepsi Cola, Nvidia, and more, right? So you can see on the right-hand side, this was the first call that was sent out on the 1st of July, all right? So we actually started then. So the Pentagon algo characteristic, right? So you need to know what the US buy call focus on. So we focus on a swing trading. It's not buy and hold, okay? It's not something like, so the swing trading means we want the market to swing one up, get some sort of a gain like what we are seeing right now in the US for this mid-August rally that we're seeing. So that's a very nice swing we are looking at, right? So it captures the momentum from a readily to move up to an uptrend stock. So meaning stocks may be just accumulating what we call a stage 1 stocks and move up to a stage 2 uptrend. And we have a very fixed rule to it, all right? So it's a rule-based, discipline-based, consistent following the rule. And whenever the green Pentagon occurred, right, we have a valid date on our buy call is to enter within 3 days, right? So this is something that we time and time again we focus on. This is due to the risk to reward ratio. Later on, next slide, I'll talk about it. Then there's an exit signal. Take profit at the predefined target. As per the buy call, we have a TP1, or some of you might have a higher, different target price that you have, but I leave that to you. But we have a TP1. Risk management, there is also a stop loss as per the buy call. I'll show you that. Worst case is a 8% stop loss from the entry price. Now, also take note for point number 5. Whenever you see red Pentagon comes up, be ready to exit. There are times when the market sell off just one red Pentagon and completely it reverse up. This is usually done by what we call shakeout, because so we always tell people, follow the rule. If you see no continuation of downtrend after the red Pentagon, you can still keep it, provided it doesn't hit the stop loss and it won't stop more than 8% from your entry price. So it's basically a discipline, consistent rule. And if you keep doing this through our back testing, I think you have a very good chance of success in the market. So now this is the statistic that we have, how we make our call. So far, we've done about 52 calls, okay? We have about 20 winning rates. That's about a 38% winning rate with a maximum gain of 4.8%, okay? Now, how we calculate our success rate is from the closing price of the green Pentagon to the high with a minimum of 4.5%, we consider as a success rate. So if the stock that we selected from the green Pentagon did not hit the 4.5%, then it is not a success. So that's how we calculate it here, the 38% success rate in here, okay? And so what we do is that we see and compare to the traditional Bloomberg consensus call. Within the same period, 30th of June to 6th of June, Bloomberg called about 11 calls, and there were only 3 winning calls with a success rate of 27%, with the price gain about 6% in here. And these consensus also come from the Rakuten iSpeed. So we are just doing a benchmark in here. Now, further benchmark, we also benchmark to the Nasdaq. So you can see from here, the SMARTRobie call has an average gain, max gain of 4.8%, for the Bloomberg 6.3%, whereas the Nasdaq 3.9%, 0.2%, and 2.6% respectively, okay? So that's how we do it. Now, how to read the US buy call. Now, all the buy call are generated by the Pentagon Guider. Entry is within 3 days of the valid date and below the call price. So you can see from here, Pepsi Cola, current price is 132 by the time it sends out, and there is this call buy below 133. Usually if we go above the 133, we tell the user don't chase it. Below 133 can buy. Then there is a TP, which is the target profit. We have the stop loss and also the call price valid, okay, which is before, usually it's 3 days before the Pentagon Guider date in here. So also we highly advise our user to be very disciplined with the target profit. Right? Once the target profit is hit, then you trade another time again. All right? It's not something you want to hold for a long time. You take a target profit, come back, do another trade. This is how we build that sort of a momentum going forward. Now, take note, Pentagon Guider charts are available from the SMARTRobie apps. Later on, towards the end of the slide, I'll give you a stock code where you can get some free credit and use the SMARTRobie, so you can also see the SMARTRobie charts in here. Now, how to use the Pentagon Guider chart, all right? So all the Pentagon Guider chart comes in from the SMARTRobie in here, so you can really match to it. You can see there is basically, in this example here, we have a 2 entry. Whenever the green Pentagon appeared, we say within the first 3 days from the Pentagon Guider. So this is what we call the entry one. Then the other one is people usually wait too long. Then we call it entry 2. Now, from a risk to reward, entry 1 is better. This is through all our back testing. We find that if you enter 1, right, your risk is just below here, a small risk, but your reward can be way more. Don't enter using entry 2. That's what we find out through our early on user batch. Many of them enter much later. Almost they waited like 20 to 15 to 25 bars after the green Pentagon and enter. And that's not good. You want to enter within the 3 days of it due to the reward to risk. Okay. Now, how to analyze the SMARTRobie Pentagon chart in here? Here is one of the first call. Now, on the left-hand side, you will see, first thing we look for is the green Pentagon. Now, every chart, you will see there is a 20-day moving average, again, technical. And then we have the also average true loss. Okay, average true loss is the professional stop loss. So whenever you hit this average true loss, that is the stop loss you want to have to prevent any disaster. Okay, so first thing, you look for the green Pentagon, which is this one over here. Now, the green Pentagon, let me just bring up the laser pointer. Yeah, this is your green Pentagon. So within the first 3 days, you want to be in. Actually, logically, the best time to enter is the opening after the green Pentagon, okay? Or maybe at the closing. So on the left-hand side, this is the call that actually comes out on your notification from the iSpeed apps there. Right, then what you want to do is, for those of you really interested to looking at charts to see which is better or not, first thing I want to teach you all is to look for stage 1 accumulation. So stage 1 accumulation in here usually is on the orange zone here. All right, but what we want to look for is SOS, sign of strength. Sign of strength is actually bullish bar, and they are what we call T, LC, and spring. These are the sign of strength, which is part of the component of the volume spread analysis. So for those of you who want more information, in our apps, there's some FAQ. But what you want to do is to see more green triangle. You see more green triangle before the green Pentagon. That is a good a possibility or good chance that the stock will high. Now, one reason why is because when you see all this green, this is an indication of support or indication of smart money accumulating, which means the market's not going down, and after low volume that you see here, right, there's some buying by professional money, smart money. So that's what the market pushed back up, and then all and behold, before they started to move up in here. So look for accumulation in stage 1, which moves sideways first and then uptrend. So a lot of the success full stock trade idea all start like this. So you can see from here, right, we have the TP at 214077, right? This is where it actually hits here, right? That was a hit. If not, further down, it hit here. And then once the red Pentagon come down, there's a follow through. You can see it sell off already. All right. So that's usually the case is you hit the target and then come back down again. All right. You don't want to stay too long. Take your profit at your target profit or your own destiny, and then just move on to the next trade. All right. So next one is Pepsi Cola. Okay, same thing, same analysis in here. You can see it came out at 132 around here. Okay, and what we want to do is again, you look for sign of strength. A lot of sign of strength coming out, accumulation. You can see all this green triangle here. LC is stand for line change. T stand for test, SP stand for spring. That tells you the accumulation is already begun. And usually sometimes you get this wash like a red pentagon, wash it, but there's no follow through, right? So that's why we always say sometimes when you get a red pentagon in here, there's no follow through subsequently, then you want to hold on to it. But provided it doesn't break your stop loss level in here, then the market breaks. And then finally, it pops up. And I believe it hit the target profit at 138. Yeah, your 138 is just above here. So this one exceeded the target profit in here. All right, so that's a good one. Now, third one is NVIDIA. And this is a good example what I've talked about. First, look for the green pentagon. Okay, so the buy call came out on, I think this was on just before the 27th of July. Okay, the Pentagon Guider is 27th of July. The call was sent out just before the 31st. So you could have got in at the 178. Okay, there was a 178 in here. So you can see that there was an uptrend, and you can see there are signs of strength. Make it very simple for the reader to use. So these are evidence of money accumulation going higher in here. And then this is where is the target price, 186. I think eventually this one just came out 27th of July. I think it's going to hit that one TP very soon. Okay, no doubt here you could see a red pentagon, but as I said before, there was no follow through, so you don't need to exit from this standpoint. A lot of the red pentagon are there to shake out the user, because a bull doesn't like rider. Okay, they will shake you out in here. Then the next example, okay, on the way to target profit at 186. Okay, next one is PayX. Now, this is definitely one trade that I believe didn't work, so I also want to share with you in here, right? You can see TP for PayX, current price 146, right? This is again very similar. There was a good accumulation too in stage 4, but it could not close above the 40 MA in here. All right, so there was some resistance in here, could not follow it, and then red pentagon come out, and then you could see the cut loss point is 142. All right, so 142 you would have cut here. Okay, 142. So observe the cut loss price, and then to prevent it from going further down. Okay, that's really one of the rules we can say. Now, next one is Axion, 31st of July that we issued. All right, this came out too, and you can see this was very recent, 31st of July. In here, 776, buy below that. Okay, so again, what we look for on the left hand side, because usually by the time you see the chart, there's only 1 or 2 bar only. Very, very classical. There is a sign of strength, test, line change. The more green, what we call the green triangle pointing upwards, that's very positive. All right, usually that one you will get it after, you will get it before the green pentagon. That means smart money is accumulating, and lo and behold, the market jumps up and exceeded the target price by 791. Okay, jump straight up in here. Okay, so I want to do right now is to review some of the US buy call the last 2 weeks, because we started about 1.5 months ago. So looking at that time frame, 23rd of July to 6th of August, right? You can see, the gains, right? Nasdaq only up 0.7, but I think this week, 13th of August, market has gone higher. Dow has recovered a bit. Same goes for the S&P 500 has moved up a bit here. So these are the list of calls that we at TradeVSA monitor them. All right. Now I want to draw your attention to the two one bad trade and one good trade. There are most of them you can see. It hit the maximum price, GDX 6.4, 7.9, and this one is 2.4, so it hasn't hit yet. Some is like Axion hit 17% high. As of 6th of August, also up at 15%. Now, in this example, I want to start off with the trade that was not successful, okay, which is the CF. So I want to be very balanced. I'll show you some good trades. I'll also show you some trades that didn't work, okay? Not all trades work 100%, definitely. So in the, this is a CF symbol that belongs to the basic material industry, okay? If you keep holding until now, as of 6th of August, you will still be down 12%, all right? Then there's another trade that books very well is CDSN. Okay, CDSN. So first one, when we want to look out is the red Pentagon. Okay, so here the CF came out, the trade buy call is about at the buy below at $95. This is what we are talking about this here, right? Again, very similar. We do see one sign of strength in here, right? But the call just don't work, right? So next, what happened was that red Pentagon came out first, okay, but it hasn't hit the stop loss yet. It's about $90.80. Okay, this is the stop loss point. You can see, right? So the market, red Pentagon come out, then couple of 2 days, market started to move lower. So why I bring this up is you can see the stop loss at $90.86. So that's your stop loss point. If you didn't exit at this bar and then the market gaps down, a sell off here stands for SO. All right. So that means you could have prevented a bigger loss. So if you got stop out at $90, then you only lost 4% because you can always recover it back. But if you hang on and don't cut loss, then you'll be almost at what we said earlier, 12%. Okay, we don't want that to happen. The whole point when it comes to this short-term trading is to gain that small percentage winning and winning more, right? That's how we want to do that. And then finally, we go on to the next one, which is a good example of a good trade. All right, this is a good trade. That was also very recent is CDNS, okay, which is Cadence Design System. Call price is 328, okay, and the current price was 332. Okay, so buy below 328 here. The market did give you a chance to buy over here. All right, so you can see green Pentagon over here, signs of accumulation. All right, and then lo and behold, it gives you almost 3 days. 1, 2, 3, right? Green Pentagon 1, 2, 3, and then the market jumps out. So when it jumps out, you can see the target price at 342 exceeded it. All right, so usually when it exceeded it, you can take profit. You just leave for 1 or 2 days. I'll leave it up to you. But once it hit TP, you want to exit and then trade another stocks again. All right. So that exceeded the TP at 342. All right. So those, and it peaks actually at 376. All right. 376. And that is a sort of a sample of the last 2 weeks of stock. So in summary, all right, the Pentagon Guider, which is the US buy call provided by SMARTRobie, it's a swing pattern. We swing the trade ups, we capture the momentum, stage 1 and stage 2, and when there's no momentum, we have to cut loss, hopefully with a stop. And we want to enter within the 3 days of the green Pentagon appearance, all right? Exit, we take profit on the target price as per the buy call listing, right? Or your own target profit. Now, worst case, stop loss is 8% or less from your entry price. We don't want a disaster to happen when you're trading, because trading involves risk in here. So stop loss, you all can also follow the buy call in that example that I shared with you. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. So I'll go to the Q&A right now. There is a WhatsApp 01026629761. All right, and I was told that I want to share with you. You can get 200 SMARTRobie credit if you sign up. When you sign up and open up SMARTRobie, so you can look at all the charts. Use the word Rakuten as your referral code, so you get 200 credit limit, which is equivalent to 20 ringgit. All right. Okay. I'm not here to promote SMARTRobie. I'm just saying that if you want to see the SMARTRobie charts, you can go over and you can use the 200 SMARTRobie credit. Okay. That's the my reporting so far for the SMARTRobie US buy call. Okay, back to you, Ku.
Okay, hi. Thanks, Martin. Yep, yeah. For those who wants to know a bit more of the SMARTRobie, yes, that's the promo code that we have. If not, I think you can continue to follow a more simplified, straightforward one, where we have push notification out daily stock calls from TradeVSA, SMARTRobie. There'll be 2 calls, 1 ETF and 1 stock most of the time. So yeah, so that you can take a pick. If you're a bit more risk averse, you can always trade the ETFs for low volatility, and the stock idea from there as well. So yeah, so you have give you a choice of like 2 calls a day, so called. Yeah, previously it was 3. I think now we want to fine tune it to 2, so there's more focus, so that easier for you to choose, so called. Because this is, like I said, Martin said, this is swing trade. It's meant to be short term. So it coincides with our low brokerage. I think our brokerage is one of the lowest in the market. below 10,000. So yeah, so this is the key thing that we provide, value-added services from our end. So yeah, okay. So Martin, so I think tonight, I think there will be a bullish listing tonight, the IPO. And also, I think US market has been trending up. I think new highs. What's your view on the market? Let's talk about this
Yeah,
before.
I think there are a lot of talks about the inflation coming out. As usually you will notice, right? A lot of talks about interest rate being cut. That's where the market is going to be bullish. As I do know that it's the second week or the first week of September where the US Federal Reserve will meet. So I think it's going to be rally right now to that September. But usually after the interest rate been announced, then you'll see a lot of pullbacks.
Yeah, I think so. I think the key thing, I think the pullback, I think is a buying opportunity in the sense that so-called, I think the market has done quite well. US, I think quite bullish. I think my view and Martin, we share the same view. I think market should end the year with a bang. So I think pullback is a good option for you to buy. In the meantime, you could follow some of the calls from SMARTRobie that we have, or our own Rakuten stock calls as well. So-called, yeah. So I think tonight, let's say tonight there's a new listing bullish. What's your view on this? What do you think? I think it should be quite hot as well. I think bullish. I think a lot of people are looking.
Yes,
forward to it.
I think a lot of the stocks is going to move up. This momentum is already in. So a lot of the Pentagon stocks that's on US buy call would actually reach. But I always tell the user, don't be greedy lah. Huh? This is not something that's going to go way up. When you have the profit target, take it and then come back and look for what we call a good reward to risk. Always think about the risk. Okay, in the bull market, a lot of time we forgot, that we forgot that there is actually the market will pull back. So just be careful. This one in here, enjoy the rally that you have, and I think that the SMARTRobie have the necessary information, the visual tell all, where the red Pentagon will pre-alert you, and also the stop loss to prevent any disastrous loss.
Yeah, Martin, could you do a demo or take a look at this United Health? I think we have Mr. Leo here asking about it. Maybe you can.
Yeah, it's just that it's on the phone. I'm just not too sure how. I'm just going to read it from the.
Yeah, read from the phone. Yeah, take a look.
Yeah, I'm going to read from the phone. United
Health.
Yeah, I think United. This is healthcare. Okay. Let me just log in through. I got my this phone is run out of battery. Let me use another one here. Okay, let's take a look. Switch on to US market and okay, on the stock chart, this is how I'm going to be looking at. So, okay, it's coming up the chart. Okay, now on the stock chart, you can see this United Health. United Health. Okay. There's no green Pentagon yet. It's still in the downtrend. So I'll just probably wait.
Okay, we have Joe here as well. Joe has a question asking about Nova Visited NVO.
Okay, for Joe, okay, NVO.
Nova, yeah. The pharmaceutical company that has dropped a lot. I think it's rebounded recently, yeah.
Okay.
Nova this.
Oh, this one also cannot. No green Pentagon yet. As I said before, we follow the green Pentagon. That's why we are very disciplined. Not only the green Pentagon, right? Then only we will buy. There's no signal yet.
Hey, for beginner trader, what is the best way to interpret technical charts and indicators?
I think for us, we will advocate the new beginner to use the SMARTRobie and then do some paper trading first. Because I say green Pentagon, after that move up, who do you trust? So it's better that you follow it, the green Pentagon. For example, whatever the US buy code that comes out green Pentagon, you do a paper trade first. Then you learn from the technicals. And also in our SMARTRobie, under the FAQ, we have tutorials. So that may be a good place for those who learn about our algorithm. All is on the video tutorial we have there. And all these are absolutely free.
I mean, just to add, I mean, for beginner, for a start, you can just follow the stock calls that SmartRobie has, I think, where we publish on Rakuten. You can take that as a start to trade. I mean, do a small trade. Our brokerage are very affordable, one of the cheapest. So I think you can start from there. Then it builds confidence when you follow the calls. So called, I think it will be daily calls that we have that you can follow, and then yeah. Okay, we have some questions here.
Yeah, I agree.
Nvidia remains the AI proxy with huge data center growth. If Nvidia flips rate, Pentagon post earnings drift, how do you manage re-entries versus whipsaws?
Okay, usually what we always believe that stock movement will move faster than news. Okay, that's one of our methodology is. So this is why we talk about the smart money, right? If as long as the stock continue to push up, right, and you don't see signs of distribution, I think it's okay to go, right? So volume spread analysis work on looking at the charts. We don't look at opinions. We don't look at so much on the news because everything is already priced in on the technicals. So right now, when I see NVIDIA, there is no green Pentagon yet. If you can also go in. And the last call that we have, right, was still that 31st of July, which I've shared with you. So if you're already in that call, there is no sell-off. It doesn't hit your stop loss. Continue to ride until you hit the profit target is 186. I think we are on the way to 186. Because I think on my chart later on, there will be some earnings end of the month. And if the earnings is good, usually once the earning comes out and your chart already exceeded, take profit. Because usually when earnings is good, it will come back down. So if you're already on the NVIDIA, based on the SmartRobie US buy call by Rakuten, continue to ride it. Okay?
Okay, we have from Wong, Tempest AI. Maybe could you look at Tempest AI?
Tempest AI, Tempest AI is a Nasdaq. Tempest AI is no green Pentagon yet. Yeah, it's going to turn green Pentagon soon, I think. Earning just came out, which is on the positive side in here. Usually, as I said before, just wait for the green Pentagon.
I think maybe Martin, you want to talk about the 3 daily calls that we for tonight for it. Maybe you want to review the 3.
Yeah.
Vanguard.
Okay. Let me take a look at the Rakuten app here to get the 3 daily call. If I'm not mistaken, or maybe you can read it out for me, Vincent, if you have it.
Okay, Vanguard, S&P, and then
Okay,
you have
S&P. Yeah, this one is always my favorite. This one looks good. It's a green Pentagon in here. As I said before, early on my discussion with Vincent, we think that this thing will run until the US Federal Reserve next meeting. So this is just the beginning only. I'm bullish on the S&P 500 VOO, which is the ETF. And then I think the next one is Nasdaq 100 ETF, very similar, triple Q. That one is also similar, right? And that one also turning green Pentagon, bullish too. And last is more income one, PFF. Okay, that's slightly different, more on the income security share. That is really the fixed bond moving up.
Okay, Martin, Tesla. I think we got a question here asking about given Tesla's breach of the support zone, technicals pointing to a deeper trace. Maybe you want to look at the Pentagon and comment a bit on Tesla.
Yeah, on the green Pentagon, I have it up here. It actually Tesla turned green Pentagon on the 6th of August, which is about last week. So it's continuing to make upwards. As I said, for us, it's going to be a swing up. Target price, you can check the target price back on previously on the SmartRobie apps that we have it there. And I think you should be able to hit it. This is still positive for Tesla, right?
Okay, I think we got answer mentioning that someone commented here from Muhammad. You mentioned that it's a short-term swing approach, days to a week, not buy and hold. For attendees who miss the 3-day entry window, do you skip the trade entirely or wait for the next green Pentagon?
Yeah, we based on our back testing, right? For most beginners, try to enter within the 3 days. Right? There are some of our more advanced SmartRobie users which use pullbacks during the green Pentagon. If they miss it, right, there's some opportunity to pull back Again, very technical. They have to know what is a pullback, look at the volume, and then they can also trade that. But if not, if you're just a new beginner, just wait for the next buy call. Remember, Rakuten working with TradeVSA, we have a lot of buy call every day. Right? Like my old master used to tell me, there's always another grab. No point have to pick this grab, yeah?
Yep. Opportunities are abound. So yeah, the next one is about Google hovering. Maybe you want to talk about Google. I think there's someone asking about Google.
Yeah,
just below
okay. Let's look at Google, okay, which is Alphabet. Yeah, this one just turned green Pentagon. Very beautiful, very nice run. Right, hovering. I know there's a multi-year resistant high, that kind of thing. Bollinger Band, all the squeeze. But if you look at the volume, it started to pick up. Yeah, I'm bullish on Google.
Okay, there you go. Please log in and start.
Google. By the way, Google is also one of the Rakuten US buy call came out. I think 2 days ago only. So I encourage all the users today, use your iSpeed every day when the notification come out. Take a look at the stock.
I think not just take a look. I think they should do an action to it. Take a look at it and then start keying it, buy, sell, so called. We'll earn some extra pocket money along the way, so called. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Yong here talking about AMD breakout. Maybe you want to talk about it.
Okay, now AMD, so far from my Pentagon Guider, it actually turned red Pentagon. Okay, so usually when it turn red Pentagon, I just put it aside first until it turn green Pentagon. No, that's what we always say. It's a tell-all easy kind of chart. Just like some of the earlier stocks, I think NVO all are in red Pentagon. Just wait lah. Right? In our SMARTRobie app, for those of you who download it, we have a watch list, right? And you can put into a watch list when AMD, let's say you put into a watch list under the US side, when it turns green Pentagon, it will send you an in-app notification. Then when green Pentagon, only you do your thing, you trade. Okay? So that's one of the benefit with the watch list. And also there is a specific target price, you can put it inside that. Okay, we got XLE. Energy sector. Now, energy sector, right? I know that these are all $85 crude, whatever it is. Again, my take is always on the green Pentagon. Okay, it's currently the XLE, which a proxy to your crude oil prices, is range bound. Okay, so as long as it's range bound in here, the sensitivity of Pentagon is not that good. I gotta admit, it's when it starts to trend like what we see in the technology, those things then your trade will be successful. I always ask people to open up to new ideas, new trade ideas, basically based purely on the technicals that we see. So for me, right, to me, I like the charts, the technicals, the accumulation, the volumes, right? To me, that is a sign of a possibility of good trade coming out successful. So when I see a certain chart which is not favorable, like range bound, I tend to push it aside until I see a better trend.
Okay. Looks like we have covered all the questions that we have for the night. Anything would you like to add, Martin, before we...
My take is this will be a really nice run. Right? I may be wrong, right? But I do think that we're going to have a good run. The funny thing is that more people don't realize that this market can go higher. This is where you see the market run. When people are so certain, hey, this is going to run now, I better start to take profit. And I'll
agree.
Pentagon.
You're right. I think when people have a bit still skepticism, is that can or not, is that when everybody is very, very bullish, then those are some telltale signs in the sense that So I think I think we still have a decent runway.
Yeah, that's right. About another 1 month or more lah. I think capitalize on what it is. Right, but when you start to see red Pentagon already hit a target profit, don't think it will go to very, very high. Please, Rakuten users, start taking your profit, okay? And like what Vincent said, the commissions are very, very cheap and reasonable. You can always buy back again.
Okay, I think maybe we pick another one last question that we came up. I think recent IPOs, Figma, Firefly, Aerospace, and Circle. Maybe you want to comment a bit or look at
usually for all those IPO apply because smart money work on evidence of what we call collection. Like we always, like my sifu would teach me, we are looking for footprint, right? In the jungle. Whenever elephant walk, we want to see footprint. So like Figma, these are new IPO. We don't see enough bars. We normally want to see 3 months of trading bars or 30 days, right? Where we can see what they do at the support, what they do at the low volume. Then we'll know the smart money. If usually when I don't see it, I will just wait until the chart become more matured, maybe after 3 months, then we'll be able to trade from there. That's usually my answer.
To be on the safe side, yeah, but let's say more track record for you to see, because from a charting point of view, too short, the thing you won't be able to see clearly on based on chart, yeah, unless it's news or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, because at that time, if you don't have charts, you just barely based on news driven. You know, they release something or they say something, then they will really shoot up and down one, and it's very difficult to trade.
Yes, it calls a lot of discipline. Basically, so I think you look at the chart means you should rightly follow this chart, and you can't. If you mix a bit of both, then yeah, you get a bit confused. Like I said, this algo one, Pentagon red, Pentagon green, Pentagon. I think it's very straightforward. Green means buy, red means kind of sell, so called. So. Yeah. Like green light go, red light stop, I think.
That's why we always say that, when it comes to building anything like the trading algorithm, they're very logical. You know, there's no emotion. It's all data driven based on back testing over a long period of time, like 5 to 10 years. So we see those probability favor when there's a green Pentagon. Of course, there are times where it doesn't, but we go by generally the statistics. We are backed by our data, and that's why we engage in data, and we try to put the emotion aside.
Yep. Key thing is winning calls, accuracy, big money. That's the key thing. Nothing emotional about so-called. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where the charts comes in.
Yeah, okay. I also want to say that the market will always last longer than all of us. So make sure don't get too emotional about the market. Yeah, that's right. All right, thanks a lot for giving me an opportunity to explain the benefits of the US buy call and also some of the statistics we have collected for you in here. And hopefully, I think all the Rakuten audience will make a good profit going ahead with the US buy call provided by this partnership.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Thanks, Martin. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.